good vibration, but a loud vibration. Okay. I don't think there's anything. That. Okay.
Shock one up.
Dun 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 dun. Let's minimize this. Man's group headed to the nearest subway station and made their way toward Lavra in the northwest part of the capital. I didn't grab either of my drinks either. Goodness gracious, I'm slipping. Random notification? Is it a real one? Oh god, the amount of fishing I get. Ridiculous. The Louvre district. Lemba. Lamba.
Wow. So this is the Leyva district.
Leyva.
What I wouldn't give to live in an upscale place like this.
Indeed. It's the very picture of elegance. Yet the pleasant atmosphere and greenery gives it a tranquil quality as well.
This place is so pretty and nice. It makes total sense that Agnes grew up here. Aww. I'm really glad to hear you all like it.
You mean the
I
richest
drop by here a handful
community
of times at night, you know,
in the
just
world?
do a little smashing and swiping in the homes of corrupt politicians. But it's just now hitting me how nice this district is. Maybe I really should buy one of the homes here.
Well, you certainly wouldn't be wanting for comfort, I suppose.
Bet even the ritziest house on the market would be chump change for you. Oh, wait, when the hell did you sneak back into the group?
What does that matter? My event wrapped, so I figured I'd join back up with you. Okay, someone catch me up to speed. You guys ran into something over in the city's outskirts, right?
I'll tell you about it later. Maybe.
Maybe? Come on, guys. I don't want to be the only one out of the loop here.
In any event, we set about finding the nearest bulletin board.
Yeah, this area is pretty safe, so with any luck, we should be able to wrap this up quick.
If I'm remembering right, the bulletin board is over there. Okay, so here's the plan. We'll finish our work here and maybe check in a few shops and the chapel. After that, we can meet up over at the cafe or back at Montmont to grab some lunch. Oh, actually, about that, I had a suggestion. Given everything that's happened this morning, and since we're all here, how about we stop by my house for tea once we reach a good stopping point? I'd be more than happy to make you all lunch, too. There's so many leftover ingredients that are just begging to be used. Really? You mean it? You say your house, right? Will there be security guards watching the place while he's away? Probably, but they know my situation, so I don't think they'll have any problem with me inviting you over. So what do you think, Van? Sure, why not? As long as they don't mind, I'm game. I didn't be able to unwind this time. First visit was hella tense with your dad around. Yeah, I'll bet. To say that guy knows how to command a room would be an understatement. It seems our course is set then. Let's head to Miss Claudel's residence so we can complete the remainder of our day's work.
This cafe seems nice and cozy. I imagine it'd be a good place to get remote work done.
Albert and Odette do come here to... What can I get for you? Thanks a bunch. From time to time.
Okay, but what I want to know is, what kind of specialty sweets can I get here?
Whoa, check this out, guys. I can see the whole town and Treon Tower from here. This spot is one of the hallmarks of Leva. Viewing the sunrise from here always takes my breath away.
Okay, that sounds lovely. I'd like to have the chance to see that myself.
They're charity flyers too. I suppose that's par for the course in well-to-do areas. Yeah, that's true. I might also have to do with the chapel being nearby. Anyway, not that we find any here, but I don't spot any 4 SPGs. You know, that's no surprise if there are any, they'd be on the back. Man, we got Bupkis. Besides, clean as a damn spring breeze. I was afraid of that. It's been a hot minute since I had a request. I think the last time was... Hey, what's that? Little scrap of paper. It looks like it was torn off. Perhaps a request for something of that sort was placed there and then removed sometime later. Yeah, probably. It must have happened pretty recently. Not even a speck of dirt on it. I don't see any sign of it being rained on. There was a huge downpour this past weekend. The board would have been sopping wet. Oh yes, I see what you mean. It did rain quite a bit, as I recall, which means it could only have been posted for 3 or 4 days at most before it was removed. Alright, so let's put our thingy caps on. Person needs help with something they can't bring to the police or guild. They aren't used to dealing with shady types like me, but after hearing rumors about the 4SPG, they go out on a limb, they wait 2 or 3 days, see no one's responded to it, and give up and tear it down. It's like a plausible turn of events, don't you think? You got that all from a tiny scrap of paper? Well, he's just saying it's one possibility, but it is a convincing hypothesis nonetheless. I hate when it makes sense, especially when he looks so smug about it. Okay, Epstein, how does that tie into everything else? Oh, what makes you think I know the answer to that? Yeah, I thought you had it all figured out. Silly me. Well, I may not know the details. I think we can be fairly certain something unusual is brewing under the surface. Or at the very least, this makes that conclusion seem that much more likely. The probability's definitely gone up. Can't make a definite call yet, but knowing that something's fishy might be going on is still good intel. And your risk management AI or whatever, is logic work in a similar way? Yes, although I'm certainly no expert on the subject. As I understand it, the system aggregates a vast number of risk factors, then calculates a threat level. Perhaps we could borrow a page from their book, pick one lead and combine it with others, and the path forward may make itself known. Go game Gian Xiao like playing. They have Go in this universe? Oh. We'll just have to keep our eyes peeled and collect data, and then the bigger picture will eventually come into focus. Were you able to follow that, Fairy? I guess it's kind of like when we use multiple artillery observers to spot snipers. They like to move around a bunch, so we have to be super instinct and neutralize them. Oh, that makes sense. Sometimes we're worried we raised this girl all wrong. Oh, Fairy. Treasure chest!
This is the area's go-to shop for variety goods. They have a wide selection of foodstuffs.
Ugh, I'd kill to have a place like this within walking distance. I'm so jealous!
No need to be shy now. Come again.
It's so scary.
Oh.
Hurry outside. Thanks. As always.
Treasure, treasure, treasure.
Looks like some good loot.
There we go.
Thanks. As always.
There we go. Go to the chapel.
Let us pray.
It's not often I come to visit this chapel.
Fun fact, you can go up to the belfry using the ladders upstairs. Anyone want to have a look? Oh, me!
Heck of a view, huh? Makes me want to yell at the top of my lungs.
Yeah, you can say, "Hello world, I'm a cat burglar with a single brain cell."
Or I could kick you off the side of this belfry.
Super cute. I love this gang. I hope I never have to play as Reen again.
And this is my house. You haven't been here since the end of last year, right, Van?
Yeah, feels like that was ages ago. Wonder where that enthusiastic dog of theirs is lurking.
Man, this neighborhood's so calm compared to the rest of the city.
Right? I think that's part of why so many people in the government live here.
Doesn't seem like there's much else to see. Let's turn back.
Alright, I think we called there. A real unusual whiff of something from all this, including that scrap of paper. If you're ready, are we good to go to my house? You guys are gonna love Anya's sandwiches. She gave me one the other day and it was so good. If you'd like, I'd be happy to help in preparing the tea and coffee. I'd be happy to help myself with the vintage wines. Oh, no you don't. Not on the Clockbuster. The opportunity were to present itself. He seems like a fun lad to be shared a few drinks with. Master Burgard, you say some really scary shit sometimes, you know that?
Love me a sugar rush.
Love me a sugar rush.
Whoa! Your house is gorgeous, Agnes!
The building itself seems pretty old, but it's been maintained with love and care.
I'm glad you think so.
Huh. Looks like a completely different place in the daytime.
Huh?
What the?
Oh,
Hey, aren't you?
that's a lovable dog.
Alphonse, where did you come from?
I love him.
Aw, nice pupper you got there.
I didn't know you were a dog owner, Agnes.
I remember her mentioning she had one. But wait, I thought he was kept at the official residence.
Down, boy.
I don't know why
You
the
like to
dog
jump
is
on people.
so uncanny in this, but he really is. I love him regardless, though.
What are you doing here?
We hadn't realized you were home, Mr. President.
What a pleasant surprise. Our apologies for showing up without invitation.
Please, no apologies needed. It's an honor and a privilege to welcome such esteemed guests into my humble home. As for why I'm here, I happen to have some downtime, so I thought I'd take Alphonse for a walk. I'm surprised to see you back in the thick of it so soon after your trip to Orin. That kind of diligence really is admirable. But perhaps a rest now and again would do you well. You ought to show yourself the same care that you do my daughter.
Dad. Come on, Alphonse. Be good.
Dog.
Of course you know about what we were up to. A little surprised you're still keeping your ears to the ground, Mr. Prez. Thought your eyes were set on the stars.
I love these people so much. So you're saying the second phase being moved up was in the cards from the get-go, huh?
That's right. We didn't know what kind of issues would come up, so we added quite a bit of buffer time to the schedule, mostly to give us time to recover if we hit any particularly bad setbacks. However, thanks to the efforts of Professor Cronkite, Esmeralda, and the other researchers at Verne, that extra time proved unnecessary. Marduk's control system was also finished early, so we were able to move the schedule forward significantly.
Huh, I did hear you. Yes, you. And Mr. Giscard runs the base. Oh, I didn't realize they were so involved in the project. Though my department wasn't involved in the plan, I'm happy to hear that we've been able to live up to your expectations. By the way, there's something I've been wondering ever since I saw the stream of the second launch. I'm guessing you're planning on using a salt frame in place of that blocky dummy unit, right? But there's no way they weigh the same, so how the hell's that gonna work? Seems like your foolproof plan is a massive hole in it. Case tactless Aaron strikes again. Seriously, you take as blunt as a hammer to a whole new level.
Don't worry, no offense taken. And as for the mech, we don't intend to use the land-based Zycrease model for this project. What we will be using, however, you'll have to wait until the day of the launch to see.
In other words, you and your trench monkeys have a new toy in the works. That's true. And I'm guessing you're already in the middle of testing it, aren't you? No doubt you'd want to make sure it can handle any situation thrown its way in the vacuum of space. Bet the final field testing is being handled all top secret like, huh? I see, then that means...
I understand your curiosity given what you experienced at Marduk headquarters, but I'll have to leave the rest to your imagination. Although I will say this, your name did come up as a viable test candidate.
Wait, what? You mean Van's able to fly around in that giant robot?
That's right. It's simple enough that even I could pilot one, so I imagine it would be child's play for one of Marduk's testers. If you'd like, I could have Kincaid talk with the General about making you a pilot. Perhaps we could put out one of your 4 SPGs and categorize it as unofficial outsourcing.
If this is some kind of joke, I ain't laughing. Dad, please, you shouldn't tease about that sort of thing.
Just because I'm the president of a nation doesn't mean I can't kid around. That said, I still meant every word.
Which one is it then? Are you joking or not? This freaking guy. Oh dear, Van's completely at his mercy. Like I said earlier, he sure knows how to command a room. Challenge untrodden by mankind. It'd be dishonest to say I wasn't looking forward to this. You seem to be going to great pains to ensure there will be no interference from terrorists and criminal organizations.
Would be an understatement. Believe me. Part of the reason I made that pact with the Society in the first place was to reduce the amount of external threats we might face.
Oh, and by the way, I would thank you to remember our agreement to not overstep your bounds.
Well, our little pact was just about over anyway, which means things will start to heat up soon.
Okay. Seems your reputation precedes you, Mr. President. You're everything the man that Mr. Rocksmith claims you to be. I heard many a thing about you before you entered the political arena, but I'm delighted to make your acquaintance at last.
The pleasure is all mine, Mr. Zeman. You've done much for not only Calvard, but the entire continent as well. I'd be all too happy to have a little tete-a-tete with you in the near future. We should arrange an outing together with Mr. Rocksmith.
That would be very welcome. Perhaps you ought to invite Lieutenant General Cassius Bright to this too.
That's a thought. He and I go back well over a decade.
Well, so much for us worming our way back into this conversation. Sorry, I was really hoping this would be a chance for us all to de-stress. If it's any consultation, I myself am finding this to be a rather fascinating experience. Shortly thereafter, a number of calls from the presidential office came in, and Graham Martin and his security team had to put an end to their short break.
You have my apologies for cutting our little chat short. In the meantime, please, make yourselves at home. We don't keep confidential documents here, so you're welcome to look around all you like.
How magnanimous of you, Mr. Prez. Still, this really is a nice place you got here. You even did the renovations on it yourself.
I did. I performed them shortly after I got married. We bought the house through a certain connection I had at the time. If I recall correctly, I believe it was built around 70 years ago now.
Oh wow, I certainly wouldn't have guessed that. But this place would make for a great filming location.
Agnes, I'll leave the rest to you. Now, I know you only just finished your finals, but try not to overexert yourself. You won't be able to help your group if you burn yourself out.
Come on, Dad. I know. And I expect you to lead by example on that front. Oh, and, I want you to know I'll be rooting for you. With your project and everything, I mean.
Of course. Thank you, Agnes.
Okay then, I'll get started on lunch. Please give me a little bit to get it ready. Like my dad said, you're free to look around the house as much as you like. Really? You mean it? Okay, let's go. First up, Agnes's room. On second thought, she'd probably be uncomfortable with me going into her bedroom. Do you want to see it too, Katra? I really don't mind showing you if you do. As I mentioned earlier, I'd be more than happy to assist in preparing everyone's lunches. While you do that, I'm just gonna hang out here. Whoa, they left a dog behind! Oh, I'm sure security will be back later to take him to the official residence. Bark. Okay then, don't have a ton of time on our hands, but we can have a quick look around. I can't believe this place is 70 years old. If I know my history, that date the house back to the time of the Third Republic. And that makes you wonder who built it back then. We gotta go take a look at that dog. You can just treat them like any old dog. Fun fact, the sunbathe is actually their means of converting solar energy into power. Is that right? Oh, pardon my rudeness, I should have known better after Mr. Kincaid's briefing. Saros, was it? A pleasure to formally meet. The president and his aide had already notified him about me. I will be bringing Alphonse back to the official residence in due time. Until then, you and the young mister are welcome to enjoy your stay. Oh yeah, you want to go, huh? How about some of this then? Let's see you survive my scratchy technique. And I picked up the signs, but you sure are one hell of a dog person, huh? More or less. Same went for my mom, but we had to give up on getting one with how small the room we rented was. Instead to make up for it, we tore our way through the first ward to the 7th on a pup patting spree 7 days a week. Talk about overkill. It's a miracle you didn't rub them bald. Hey, wait your turn, pet napper. This guy's what, 7 years old? Just because you're both middle-aged doesn't give you the right. I'm still in my 20s, damn it. Alphonse here sure is friendly with people, though. Only natural with Agnes, but he seems pretty attached to the president, too. Bark. Real sight to see, huh? They say Agnes's mom used to take care of it. Mrs. Sophie Gramhart, otherwise known as the granddaughter of the famed Professor Epstein. This garden looks to have been carefully tended to, but I warrant it was another person altogether who first put it together. The arrangement of the flower beds and selection of herbs, they bring to mind the traditional designs of the Middle Ages. Someone I was once indebted to had much the same predilections. Oh yeah, was once. Must be a reason it's past tense. Gramhart said this place was built around 70 years back. Smack dab in the middle of the Third Republic, and the Leve district was one of the residential areas they set up at the time, meaning the original occupant was an individual of great significance, more likely than not. That the house's construction is more modest than luxurious speaks to their upright character. There is a story, I imagine, as to how Mr. Gramhart came to assume ownership over it. Yeah, no way there couldn't be. Am I just imagining things, or does it feel nostalgic somehow? This ain't the first time it happened either. It was you, man. You were there. Days gone by. Now this is a good one. Affirmative. Its metric and tonal pattern to evoke feelings of comfort. Come on, guys. You can't just go putting records on in other people's houses. Says you. The president gave us the okay to make ourselves at home, so I'm taking him up on that. His ear is real refined, though. And this library's got everything from classics to changements. It even appears to be a decent collection of Grammys albums. Chansonnier extraordinaire. Dominique Lanster, huh? Go figure. Oh, Amber Turtle. He's my favorite jazz number, too. This is awkward. Between this and saunas, we've got more than a few hobbies in common. Didn't he invite you to a private session at the end of our big case last spring? In his book, you're probably the bad apple seducing his precious daughter astray. Don't even start. How many times do I gotta spell out that I'm the one getting barged in on here? Now playing next song, Autumn Knows. I know it's nothing new by now, but Fear really is something else. 1000%, and that's got good taste on top of that. No. These ingredients should suffice for the menu in mind. I must say, though, the pantry is punctiliously stocked, and despite the both of you often being absent. Oh well, it's all ends up being things with a long shelf life anyway. I come back 2 or 3 times a month to clean, cook, and treat the security personnel to a meal. Occasionally I'll make some extra to leave behind, which my father does seem to eat when he returns. Really now? He made a soft spot for his little girl, no matter how much he tries to act otherwise. That's a little debatable. He definitely has a particular fondness for my sandwiches and stews, though. I think it's fair to say I've succeeded in recreating the way my mother's tasted. Miss Claudel. Well, going by the ones you'd sometimes make at the office, you can say for a fact they're both delicious. The kitchen reflects the family who lives here. This one feels tidy and lived in at the same time. It says a lot about the woman your mom was. Indeed, even the sink and kitchen utensils appear to be meticulously maintained. Well, it's been 5 years since she passed, but these parts of her might have rubbed off on me. I just tried to do things the way I remember she did, though it wasn't without plenty of setbacks in the beginning. I'd even forced my father to eat the stews I burnt. Hey, any dad worth his salt would be more than happy to gulp it down. Yes, without a doubt. It was likely the same for myself. Well, at any rate, Van, this will take us a tiny bit longer. My success rate with these dishes is guaranteed, so just sit tight and they'll be out in a jiffy. Given that this is likely a larger party than Miss Claudel is accustomed to serving, I shall handle the ingredient and spice measurements. Sounds good. My mouth's watering already. Nice toilet. So this is Agnes's room, huh? Isn't it nice in here? So warm, so calming. Plus it gives off the breath of fluffy, flowery air that is Agnes written all over it. I think I get what you mean. You can definitely tell that she spent a lot of time in here. This is what's got you all wrapped up, poring over an older girl's private books. Wait, I'm 16 now. That makes Agnes and me the same age. Fair point, but in 3 days she'll be back to being older. Oh, he's got you there. True enough, I know it's something to celebrate, but getting left behind again isn't the greatest feeling. At any rate, whatever apprehension I had flew right away the second I laid eyes on these. They're Professor Claude Epstein's diaries. That's so? Agnes always keeps a final volume on her or something. These must be the rest. You can really tell her great-grandfather was a great grand scholar, too. He'd certainly need to have been to create the octogeneses. Right, there are records here of how they were utilized in experimental observations for the invention of ordnance. There's a lot to be learned from these writings, and what's more, they also describe his values as a scientist and technician. Each and every word holds a wealth of meaning. I can see how Agnes got so engrossed. And I'd say, I've only ever leafed through the last of the bunch, so... Let's see, stuff about his research, stuff about his family and assistants. Oh, hey, this bit touches on the geopolitics of the time, even as his personal analysis is Calvert. Communication lines barely existed back then, so how did he manage to put this many pieces together all the way in Le Mans? Incredible, isn't it? He talks quite a lot about Gran and them, too. Publishing even a portion of these would make for an instant bestseller, don't you think? Wait, isn't this? What's up? Did you find an interesting entry? It's more that this name feels like one I've heard somewhere before. Does Herschel ring a bell? Herschel, that's... Maybe take a have a look? Afterward, the group shared a handful of findings and surprises held in Epstein's diary. Catra then returned straight back to reading them, whereas Fairy found herself drawn to Agnes's picture book collection, eyes a twinkle. God, I wish his name wasn't Epstein so bad. Looks like the president's private study. It basically tell us what's his is ours, but this might be pushing it. Are those? I want to take a little self-guided tour for future reference. You could almost tell this is a trail of memories between the Graham Harts and the Claudels. As much of a family man as Victor, but a part of me does long for one myself. This must be the president's school days. Guy was handsome, even back then. The one on the left is probably Lilia Claudel, Professor Epstein's adopted daughter. Drake's the girl in the middle, Sophie Claudel. Say he was in the military before getting into politics. Say CBC and the Claudels were basically family. Lilia's already passed by the time Agnes was born, though, I think. Oh. Agnes is around 12 here, maybe, and the president looks no different than he does now. Just look at those 3 smiling faces. Can't have been too long after that her mom... Oh, Van, so this is where you went. Yeah, sorry for treading off the beaten path. Not at all, take your time. Oh, if any books catch your interest, feel free to borrow them. There should be plenty geared towards car enthusiasts, sauna buffs, and other hobbyists. Nah, I'm imposing enough already. A lineup like this could really hook a guy in, though. I'd imagine so. The way my father used to hole himself up here and read the days away. Everything's just been gathering dust the past few years, now that he's always out. It's honestly kind of a shame. He's still so young there, isn't he? It kind of ticks me off that he's been such a looker from then all the way till now. Still, I appreciated the chance to actually see your mom and grandma's face. I suppose. I only ever really mentioned their names up till now, thinking back. Pictures are all I know of my grandmother. Still, everybody looks so happy in all of these. Hey, same can be said for the one you're in. You have to admit, though, the Claudel genes are a scary thing. I mean, sure, your hairstyles and overall vibes differ, but by facial features alone, you three ladies are practically carbon copies. You think so? I'd say we couldn't be further apart personality-wise, but... Alright, we're just still in the middle of making lunch. I just came here to ask if you mind us adding Diablo sauce to the sandwiches. After receiving Van's response that he was all for the Diablo sauce, the audience busily vacated the study. Okay, I think that's enough exploring for now. Lunch will be ready soon, I bet. Might as well offer to help make some coffee. Alright then, guess I'll go see if I can help out with the coffee or something. There's nothing else. Okay. Actually, that reminds me. The date she put on her resume was July 12th, 1192. That's 3 days from now. I treated the others on their birthday, so I'd do the same for her. Van then went to the kitchen to help make coffee and was subsequently asked for his opinion on matters such as the dessert offerings. After a short while, lunch was finally ready and everyone sat down to enjoy the sandwich Agnes and Rosette made. By the way, Agnes, I took a look at your great-grandfather's diaries. Well, I skimmed through them, and he didn't write too much about his research, but I was still thoroughly impressed by what I saw. He sounded like an insightful person. It's amazing to think that Professor Hamilton was his mentee. Now, hearing all that makes me really happy. I've heard before that he cared a lot for his family, and reading this makes that clear as day. You know just how much he loved your grandmother, Lilia. And the messages he left for the generations after hers to you and Sophie are really profound. He also held a great affinity for his 3 disciples. And naturally, he cared deeply for Professor Hamilton, but I could feel a sense of compassion and trust for the other 2 as well, despite their idiosyncrasies. Yeah, Professor Russell from Liberal is one of those 3 disciples, right? The fact that old Epstein predicted he'd go on to invent the airship is pretty damn wild. Not only that, he also wrote about the possibility of Professor Schmidt coming up with a railway system. It's almost like he can see the future or something. It's a little way of knowing one way or another if he could. One thing's for certain, however, he was an incredibly perceptive man. He predicted the emergence of artificial intelligence and the technological singularity, even, which has become quite a hot-button issue. It's very true. I can definitely understand why my mother and grandmother chose to hide his diaries. In a way, he was too far ahead of his time, so much so that he may have impeded the potential of those who came after him. Yeah, it might be part of why he never shared them with anyone, including the Epstein Foundation. And I'm sure the main reason ties back to his last words after gathering the Genesis. Cover the Ark Genesis before the year 12OX, else all that we know will come to an end. Hold up, so your great-grandpa used these things, these observational devices, back when he established Orbitech, which means he had them at the time, but then at some point they were lost or stolen? I didn't get a chance to pore over every detail in the diaries, but I didn't see anything written about that. As crazy as it sounds, is it possible he knew that they'd go missing after his death? Yes, I'd say so. In fact, there's a definite possibility, especially when you consider what Dingo said to us back in April.
Weakness is humanity's original sin. One that the 8th Genesis was built to observe with vigilance. Its ceaseless observation persists. It has yet to truly be brought to an end. The forced reset is a byproduct of the Octogenesis. It is a retry method that can only be performed so many times. Its purpose is to achieve the desired observational outcome. Very soon, the other possibilities that were archived from past resets will be designated as the final observational outcome.
Oh yeah, that's what he said, sure enough. Though I didn't hear those words directly from the horse's mouth, they sound no less disconcerting, even now. I can only surmise that these devices, including this 8th Genesis, which observes humanity's sin, are designed to carry out some function once all 8 are brought together. Yes, I've come to much the same conclusion. However, I cannot help but wonder if there was some reason they were spread all over Calvard prior to our having gathered them. Considering his use of the word observation, perhaps some sort of process was being carried out by necessity. This whole thing is kind of confusing. But would that mean there was an observational reason behind Almada stealing and using them too? What? No, that's impossible. Much as it pisses me off to say it, it isn't. Could be that them turning into the tyrant of 40 years ago. Could be that them turning me into the tyrant of 40 years ago was also they could observe the dark side of humanity. Yeah, same could be said of Pandemonium, which was brought about by the 7th. Not have even been trying to observe the diabolical core I had inside me. I think it's safe to say my great-grandfather must have had some purpose for all this. Maybe he made the Genesis to bring out the ugly side of humanity, observe it. Could be there was some outcome he hoped to achieve. If that's true, then regardless of his reasons, it's possible he wasn't the good, upstanding man I thought him to be. And yes, honestly, he sounds like most engineers and academics I know. We're all driven to test our hypothesis. That's right, regardless of what kind of man your great-grandfather was, it was his diaries that got you to this point. You prepared to see this thing through, accepting the good, the bad, and whatever he was expecting to find out. Because if you are, then we will be right there by your side until you get there. Then, that's right, we'll be with you to the end, ride or die. Indeed, that goes without saying. Don't stress, we'll always be in your corner, no matter what kind of person your great-grandpa was. It'd be much worse than our resident sugar junkie who gets his kick from eating sweets in a sauna. Hey, I've never done that in my life. Sweets are sweets and saunas are saunas, and never the twain shall meet. Wait, don't they cook sausages and roast marshmallows at the saunas in Remiferia? Plus, there's such a thing as stone cookware, you know. Whoa, pump the brake. I don't want to know this. It's hard enough to fight off those urges. Spoken like a true sugar junkie. Well, at least his addiction isn't so far gone as to be detrimental to his health. Yet, we should devise a plan to rehabilitate him before it grows out of control. Oh yeah, there was something else I noticed about the diaries. When I was flipping through them a minute ago, I saw the name Herschel. Ah, so you noticed that too, huh? Is that the name of your teacher? Yes, that's right. That's Miss Toa's last name. There's a famous astronomer from the Empire named Alfred Herschel. I read several of his works. There's a good chance he's the person Professor Epstein was referring to. Of that I have no doubt. Mr. Herschel, was the Dean of the Imperial Academy, the foremost academic institution of the Erebonian Empire. He passed 10 years ago, but I heard that from an early age he traveled the world to help expand his base of knowledge. Only crossed paths a few times, but I'm certain that he was Miss Herschel's grandfather. Fascinating. Didn't realize he was an acquaintance of yours, Master. Next time we bump into Miss Herschel, we should ask about him. Never know what kind of stories he might have passed on, even if they're not about the Genesis. It might be worth doing a little prodding. I hear she only came here because of her NGO work. Has she gone back to Erebonia yet? Oh, wait, no, this is Erin. No, she's still here. She was supposed to go back at the end of last term like Reen and Julian. If you'd like, I can call her and...
Pardon me, young miss, but...
Hey, Agnes. How you been?
We saw that black robot dog out in the yard.
Odette? Sorry for dropping in out of the blue. We just wanted to come say blame Albert. He just wouldn't stop moaning and groaning. Ooh, I can't see.
I never said that. Both you and Roy, I mean, the president, see.
Wait, why are you two wearing your school uniforms? We have a little counts-related trouble to take care of. What kind of trouble? Do you need help? Oh, we should be okay. It's just a handover meeting with a new school vendor, that's all. Ren will be helping us out with it too, so I think we can manage just fine. We can't keep depending on her for everything, you know, otherwise we'll never be able to grow out of her shadow. Why not go check it out? Doing this voting for SPGs and making us all lunch. I'd say you've more than done your part for today. But, no buts. Work's important and all, but a healthy work-life balance is even more so. You gotta go help your friends, show Super Schoolgirl that you don't need no babysitter. I need to make up for lost working time for this morning, so I'll carry the load for both of us. It'll be less fun with you gone, but we'll soldier on. Let's wage this war on two fronts. Man, you guys. Hey, you don't have to go if you don't want to. Not that you won't be a huge help, of course, but point being, no pressure. Sorry, we weren't trying to pull you away from your work. Please don't worry about it. You didn't appoint me as your treasurer to slack off what I'm needed. Good luck with the rest of your work today, everyone. I should be able to meet back up with you all later this evening. Good deal. See you later. Very well. Shall we depart for the Sheridan district, everyone? I'll make a note to contact you once we reach a stopping point this afternoon.
The train will be departing soon.
The next train is approaching. Please mind the gap as you board.
Mind this gap.
Truly well done. I'll update your evaluation rank.
Confirm and receipt.
Oh,
Can't complain with that.
I know what's up.
Okay. Go check on the wife. So Daisy. Okay. Hopefully this will be less than 10 minutes. Worst case, I can exit out and then I'll skip cutscenes. After parting ways with Agnes, Van's group headed back to Old Town shortly after noon. Jin and Elaine arrived at Van's office a little before 1 p.m. to swap information as they had agreed upon earlier.
I see. So you went off your beaten track and did your rounds in the Leva district.
Yep, not one of my usual haunts. Can't say I found much of anything, but there were a couple things that piqued my curiosity. I hear you've been busting your tail on a different case. You find anything interesting?
Yes, I did. Would you mind if I let him in on this, Jin?
I don't see any problem with that, given that it's related to something we tackled together back in March.
March? You don't mean that case, do you?
The one pertaining to that anti-immigration terrorist group?
The very same. Where we went up against the True Grievance Brigade. It was the largest anti-immigration faction before the Guild, your team, and the CID arrested the group's every last member. Since then, we've caught signs of entirely new anti-immigration factions beginning to emerge.
Seriously?
More terrorist organizations?
Afraid so. Though we haven't been able to verify if they're genuinely anti-immigration just yet. What we have confirmed is that the groups have been recruiting members who are known sympathizers of the True Grievance Brigade. It's even possible that other anti-immigration groups, both large and small, are banding together to form one massive flock.
God.
Shit. Are you for real?
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
That's hardly surprising. Due to their small numbers, not even the police are aware that they exist. What confuses me more is that these groups seem to be active outside of the Republic as well.
Wait a minute.
That sounds rather similar to a case we worked on before, doesn't it?
The one where Toa helped search for missing migrants from the north, yes? As I recall, the True Grievance Brigade was allegedly looking to scout people of white descent to bolster their rank and file. Then subsequent investigations by authorities revealed there was a different broker working with them behind the scenes.
Over the past 3 months, there have been a handful of disappearances that were apparently caused by that same broker. They hit Remiferia, Northumbria, the Free Cities, and Jirai. We've also heard that impoverished citizens in these regions have been making their way to Calvert. Guild HQ has been watching the situation like a hawk and is urging branches in every country to be on the alert.
I had no idea all this was happening.
Though this case may appear rudimentary at a glance, it's clear there's more to it than meets the eye. You mentioned this has been going on for 3 months. That would mean it started around the time the space program was unveiled, yes?
That's right. It could just be a coincidence, but HQ is concerned about that point too. And while I'm sure they've got their reasons, I'm surprised the CID has been sitting back twiddling their thumbs.
Really makes you wonder.
I've heard you have... Oh. I've approached the CID and requested... You haven't been able to get in touch with Renee lately. I'm in much the same boat. We've approached the CID and requested investigative assistance numerous times, but they keep turning us down. Perhaps they simply are otherwise fully engaged with the space program right now. That just seems weird to me. I mean, they're the CID. They have the manpower to keep tabs on all the Jaeger Group's activities, including the Warriors of Kruga. Us here, they love hovering over Hayway, despite their mutual agreement they've got with them. You ask me, there's no way in hell they'd look the other way when they're the new anti-immigration group on the rise. Is there any chance they ask Marduk to act on this on their behalf? You know, because maybe they're too tied up right now? No, I'm not aware of any such requests. Even with the recent launch, I was at least given notice moments before. Even me, they've drawn a line in the sand, so since the CID is being about as helpful as a car without wheels, I guess you're here to ask if we can work together like we did back in March. Oh? You guessed right. Now we're kind of stretched thin at the moment, but we can at least spare a lane. She just loves working with you. Jin, please be quiet. What he means is that this is the most efficient option, seeing as we've worked together in the past. Had Fee not been off on another assignment, I might have put her forward for this instead. You say that, but as I remember, you volunteered within almost a second of the topic coming up. Silence? Ah, you like us, how sweet. Yeah, we got a lane on our team. That's the best help we could have asked for. I feel much more at ease the next time we encounter those unusual monsters. Not to mention we'll have a broader perspective with the Guild's intelligence network at our beck and call. Still have to get the go-ahead from the boss, of course. Ball's in your court, man. Oh, yeah, whatever.
Might not be a permanent thing, but all the same, it's good to have you on the team again, Elaine.
Yes. I'm happy to be back, Van. It's been a while since I last fought alongside you all. And that's especially true for you, Bearguard. I'm sure I will learn much while working with you.
As I with you. I look forward to seeing the famous Beauty's Blade in action once again.
And more than welcome to make use of my room, should you so wish. Mine's free too. Want to try some makeup together? Oh, thank you for the offer, but I'm worried it would only wear off after working up a sweat. Oh, since you're here, can I show you my room, please? Oh, but they're not going to let me catch a beak. I'll catch 40 winks instead. You're becoming more of a slob by the minute. I'm surprised you haven't gained any weight given that you drink every single day. Got my late night workouts to thank for that. There's no better exercise than going to Pound Town. Excuse me, Aaron? Right when Liddy comes in, you're talking about fucking? Jesus. What's up, Liddy? Oh, TMI, Aaron. Literally, the conversation was, you're becoming more of a slob by the minute. I'm surprised you haven't gained any weight given that you drink every single day. I got my late night workouts to thank for that. There's no better excuse than going to Pound Town. TMI, Aaron. Fascinating. You're an abundance of spirit, technique, and physical strength. Your dedication and discipline are sorely lacking. They be going off and doing it. That's how they say so slender. So, how else can you remain in twink status if you aren't getting some exercise? Oh god. I think she'll impart the Kunlun method for controlling one's breathing upon you, like I did Van. Wait, what? No, I already learned breathing techniques from the Gekka school, so I'm good. Nonsense. There's great value to be had in studying the techniques of other schools. Now stand. Gotta say, I'm mighty jealous of you. You got a wellspring of wisdom and knowledge walking among you. Elaine will have a chance to tap into it, but not me. Oh, maybe I'll pick up a part-time job here too. Not happening. Don't say heart attack-inducing shit like that, man. Truly, it is. As long as he can last for more than a couple seconds. Try to think if any of the stories that I was going to say related to that were way too much information, so I'll let that go. Oh, by the way, I ran into the CID division chief earlier, but I haven't seen hide or hair of the direwolf lately. Guessing you haven't either? That's right, there's no sign the society's involved with these terrorists either. I think Ren was right on the mirror earlier. Bet they're finally about ready to make their move. Before I go, I wanted to mention you might be contacted by someone else about a separation issue. A separate issue? Separate issue. Separation, Jesus. Okay, mind giving me some contacts? Long story short, Guild HQ in Le Mans reached out with a few questions about you. Of course, I didn't tell them any of the nitty-gritty bits, like Anya's true identity and heritage, as well as your, condition. But apparently they're really curious about that whole Machen Garten hacking incident, your person of interest. Okay, hold the phone. If they have questions about the garden, could you answer them? You and Fee helped out with that case, too, in case you forgot. True, but we only swooped in right at the end. You and your crew were the ones who did most of the work. And because of that, a rep from a guild affiliate group will probably reach out to you about it. How you want to go about dealing with this? Jin, the immovable. For a guy who's immovable, he certainly gets his ass kicked as much as everybody else in this game. Well, in the last couple games. How you want to go about dealing with this is up to you and Elaine. Anywho, I'll catch you on the flip side. Hey, wait! A guild affiliate group, huh? There's only one organization I can think of that'd fit the bill. Oh,
I
damn.
heard that.
Nope.
Oh.
I would ask for your thoughts, but I'm sure you'd only say, it's pretty alright, or looks easy to move around in.
Literally every Epstein. I hate that. The main professor who made the main science organization is called Professor Epstein. It is awful every time. And I know that it's just a last name, and it's like if someone was named Bill Cosby that wasn't Bill Cosby, it isn't right to think that that person's a bad person, but also it's gonna run through my mind every time. I feel real bad for anybody named Bill with the last name Cosby.
Hell no. This looks great on you. I mean, wow, those colors just scream you.
Yeah, they're definitely not a... Actually, we haven't met anyone from the Epstein organization directly. Met people working with them, but yeah, no, you're right. We'll see how odd they are.
And those reinforced white heels are not only practical, but also really damn stylish.
Damn, Van.
Huh? You really think so?
She looks super pretty, doesn't she?
Wow, another genuine compliment from Van. He's been on a roll lately.
If you ask me, this feels like a bid to calm the waters after shoving his foot down his throat.
Yeah, he does do that. One minute he'll act all nice and polite with Nina, and he'll blindside me with some rude comment the next.
Lest we forget, Mr. Arkwright is still quite young. He may yet have room to develop a sense of tact.
They all got a lot of... I will say that all of the characters in this one are very distinct and fun, and the more I play with these people, the more I enjoy them as people. And in the beginning of this one, because this is the Trails Beyond the Horizon, where they're going to space. I mean, our characters haven't gone to space, but they have developed spacecraft. They're trying to send someone into space. Yep. They did 2 launches where they sent a satellite into outer space, and then they did a second one with sort of like a dummy pilot, and then the third one they're going to send a real person into space. But Reen showed up at the beginning of this game as like, we'll see if he's like fully in it, but you know, the main guy from Cold Steel, and I just fucking hated everything he said because he has no personality at all. And when he was talking to anyone from this cast, it's like, I can't believe how much I don't like him. And I played 4 games with him. Hell yeah.
In comparison to his work in
You know, I've never played Kerbal Space Program, but I do own it.
with that regard. Delicacy is hardly Van's strong suit.
I have heard that the first one is still better than the second one, and that people just play the first Kerbal Space Program.
Wyatt from the Peanut Gallery. And way to join in on the dog pile, Master.
Moving on. I'll remove my bracer emblem and accompany you for the rest of the afternoon. I'm ready to begin our 4SPG work anytime.
Good deal. Then let's pick a crew and go solve some problems.
Well, it's not like I had much opportunity to pick people.
Oh, Agnes isn't here? It would have been nice to work.
Let's see. Equipment. That's accessories. I should see if... it's all the accessories I have. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, I'll probably be leaving here soon now that my wife is probably awake.
Go Bear District and say hi.
But I still got a good like hour in. Yeah. I'm gonna go check on her, see if she's ready to wake up. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, she's awoken. The wife is awoken. So I will be heading out, but at least I got to see you guys for a second. Woke wife. So woke. Liberal. Something. Snowflake. Something. We are Charlie Kirk. Alright. Well, I'll probably see you guys later. Take her easy.